This tissue have classified into the two different types. Okay, tissue have classified into the two different types. First one is the meristematic tissue, meristematic, and second is the permanent tissue. Okay, meristematic and permanent. Meristematic they have classified into the different way, which we have discussed already, on the basis of position, on the basis of function, on the basis of plane of division, and on the basis of, means they have different criteria, but you have to know on the basis of position, it is very important. Okay, on the behalf of position, they have classified the apical, lateral, and intercalary meristem. Okay, apical meristem, intercalary meristem, and lateral meristem. And this have given then on the basis of position, on the basis of function, on the basis of plane of division. Okay, so these have classified meristematic tissue. Second one is the permanent tissue. So permanent tissue they have again classified into the two different types. So in this video lecture or in this class, I will talk about the permanent. So this permanent tissue means they lost their division ability. Clear? What means of permanent? Suppose that this cell is continue dividing. Okay, this cell is continue dividing. Here again dividing, again dividing, again dividing. So such type of cells is known as the meristematic cells. Okay, permanent cell means suppose that this cells divide into two different cells and these cells become mature, or you can give another term that is called the differentiate. Okay, these cells become mature or differentiate. Okay, mature or differentiate. Clear? So this cells, this type of the tissue or cells, it will be mature or differentiate. So this is called the permanent. And very important feature you have to know in the permanent tissue, they lost their division ability. Okay, they lost their division ability. Okay, now this permanent tissue again classified into the two different types. One is the simple permanent tissue, simple permanent tissue, and another is the complex permanent tissue, complex permanent tissue, complex permanent. Simple permanent tissue they have classified again into the on the behalf of function and shape. Okay, so they have classified into the three different types. You can write only three. Simple permanent tissue, three different types. Complex permanent tissue, again it is the two different types. First is the xylem, second is the phloem. Okay, in this way the permanent tissue have classified into how many types? Two types. First one is the simple permanent tissue. Okay, simple permanent tissue. Now simple permanent tissue have uh, three different names. Okay, just look at here. First one is the parenchyma, second one is the collenchyma, and third one is the sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma, this will be not. Okay, so parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Is it okay? Is it fine, everyone? Illamati.
Yes, sir.
So simple permanent tissue. Why we are saying simple permanent tissue means if you'll check every cells they are made up of the single type of cells. Simple permanent tissue means in case of the complex permanent tissue they have the different types like xylem. Xylem have the four different types of the cells and their shape, their function is going to vary. Xylem they have the four different types of the cell and their shape or function is going to vary. So that's why it is called the complex permanent. But in case of the simple permanent tissue, the shape of cells is always similar and function will be the similar. So this is called the simple permanent tissue. Okay. So simple permanent tissue means they have the same type of the cells and similar function. Same type of the cells, similar function. Now we are going to talk first one, that is the parenchyma. Parenchyma. Okay, parenchyma. And you have to know also maximum part of the any plant, which occupied maximum part of the plants generally occupied by this simple permanent tissue. Are you getting? Are you understanding or not?
Yes,
Maximum
sir.
part of the plant generally occupied. I'm drawing one structure. If you have seen, suppose that this is the epidermis. After epidermis, what will come? That is the structure. This structure is known as the hypodermis, or this region is called the cortex. Okay, so maximum portion generally occupied by the cortex. If you see, so maximum portion in plants occupied by the cortex. After that, vascular bundle will come. So in this way, maximum portion in plants anatomy or plants parts occupied by the simple permanent tissue. Now, the simple permanent tissue again classified into the uh, three different types on the behalf of shape and function. So parenchyma. First one is the parenchyma tissue. Parenchyma feature. What is the feature? Feature number one. This is the uh, parenchyma. This is the permanent tissue. And if you'll see, suppose that one cell, these cells, and here these cells. So three different. What we are seeing in these cells, they have the space, and this space is known as the intercellular space. Intercellular space, very very important property. The characteristics of parenchyma cells, it will be the isodiametric shape. Isodiametric, so you can write here point number one. The shape of parenchyma cells is the isodiametric shape. Isodiametric shape. Okay. Another, intercellular space is present. Intercellular space is present. Anyone, can you tell why intercellular space is present? What is the reason why intercellular spaces is present? Anyone? Illamati, Trishali, Daridi, Kabilanji, Jayasri, Kamal, Bandana, Haridi, Monisha, Ipriya. Anyone, can you tell why they have the intercellular space? Do you know reason? Reason is that because suppose that this is the cell. Plant cells, they have the cell wall, and cell wall is made up of the, there is the three different layer: primary cell wall, secondary cell wall, tertiary cell wall. Okay. So in case of the parenchyma, there is only primary cell wall, and primary cell wall means it is made up of the cellulose and cellulose and hemicellulose. Pectin is not there. Okay, cellulose and hemicellulose is there. Are you getting or not what I'm saying? Here they have the intercellular space. What is the reason why they have the intercellular space? Due to the only primary cell wall. There is no secondary and tertiary cell wall. Only primary cell wall is only found. Due to this, they have the The primary cell wall means, just look at here. Suppose that this is the structure, and here they have the only primary cell wall. If they have the primary cell wall means they have the too much intercellular space. If secondary cell wall means thickening increases means intercellular spaces decreases. Intercellular space will decrease. If you will see into the next, that will be the Collenchyma. In the Collenchyma, what will happen? This type of the cells, they have the uneven thickening. There is also hemicellulose. Along with the hemicellulose, pectin is there. Along with the hemicellulose, pectin is there. Means secondary cell wall also going to form. In this way, the intercellular spaces absent in case of the Collenchyma. But parenchyma, they have the intercellular spaces present. The concept is clear. I think it is clear. Why parenchyma cells have the intercellular space? Due to the less deposition in the cell wall. Only primary cell wall forms. Because the basic function, this cells, again it is going to perform the function. In this way, the intercellular spaces found into the parenchyma. Point number three, intracellular spaces absent. Intracellular space absent. Intracellular space absent. Okay, what means of this? The intracellular means inside they have the too much protoplasm, everything is filled, strongly filled. So intracellular space is absent. Is it clear? Is it okay? Now fine
Yes,
everyone.
sir.
Very good. So
Yes.
in this way we can say into the in case of the parenchyma, first one is the isodiametric shape, second is the intercellular spaces is present, and third one is the intracellular space is absent. Primary cell wall is present. Okay, primary cell wall is present. Okay, so this is the general characteristics of parenchyma cells. Okay, simple permanent tissue. In the simple permanent tissue, so first one is the parenchyma cells. Okay, now let's talk on the behalf of function. The parenchyma have classified into the different types. So number one you can see here. Number one will be the Aerenchyma. Aerenchyma. Number two will be the uh, Chlorenchyma. Chlorenchyma. Number third is the Stellate. Stellate Parenchyma. Stellate Parenchyma. And number fourth is the Idioblast. Idioblast. Okay, Idioblast. So Chlorenchyma, Aerenchyma, Stellate Parenchyma, and Idioblast. Okay, so this is the types of parenchyma on the behalf of their function. On the basis of their function, they have classified into the four different types. Aerenchyma means they have the air cavity. This type of the parenchyma, this is going to modify it, and they have the air cavity. Is it clear? Aerenchyma means the parenchyma cells, it is going to modify it, and after the modification, they forms the air cavity into the plant, basically in aquatic plants. And what is the function of this Aerenchyma? It provides the buoyancy to plants. It provides the buoyancy to plants by which it can easily float into the water. Clear? So this is the basic function of Aerenchyma. Second one is the Chlorenchyma. Chlorine means this type of the parenchyma cells, they have the photosynthesis pigment, means photosynthetic pigment is present by which they can perform the photosynthesis. So this is called the Chlorenchyma. Clear? And there is the stellate parenchyma. Anyone can you tell where it is found? Stellate parenchyma. Jayashri, Daridi, Trishali.
Banana, sir.
Very good. Who said Daridi? Very good. Excellent. It is found into the banana. Okay. So banana they have the stellate. Every day you are having the food on the this plate, means leaf of this banana, but you don't know which type of the parenchyma is there. So banana they have the stellate parenchyma. Clear? Banana they have the stellate parenchyma. Okay. And last one is the idioblast. They store waste product. Okay. Idioblast, it is a type of modification for storage purposes. Okay. It is stores the waste products into inside the cells. This is called the idioblast.
Okay, sir.
Very good. Second is the Collenchyma. Second is the Collenchyma. Collenchyma. Okay. The basic function of Collenchyma, if you'll check the shape, so they have the basically spherical in shape. Okay. And this Collenchyma, one important property, if you'll check this shape, suppose that this is the Collenchyma, one single Collenchyma, another Collenchyma cells. Okay. In between what happened? Intercellular spaces is absent. Intercellular spaces present in only parenchyma. In case of the Collenchyma, intercellular spaces absent. What is the reason? I told already. Here, the deposition of cellulose along with the cellulose, hemicellulose, pectin is also there. Okay, hemicellulose plus pectin. Pectin is also present. Okay, So cellulose, hemicellulose, along with this or along with this pectin is also present. Due to the deposition of pectin, what happened? The distribution means the cells have the uneven thickening, not throughout the surface. Just I'm drawing, suppose that this is the structure. So thickening takes place uneven, means here thickening takes place, here thickening takes place, and here thickening takes place, here thickening takes place. In this way, what happen if there's another cell, means neighboring cell also present is there. So in this way, neighboring cells they have the very less space. So intercellular space absent in Collenchyma cells. Is it clear? Intercellular spaces absent in Collenchyma cells. Okay, and the basic function of the Collenchyma, it provides the mechanical support to plants. Mechanical support, mechanical support to plants. Is it okay? Mechanical support to plants provided by the Collenchyma cells. Is it fine? Okay. These Collenchyma cells, can you tell the location of Collenchyma cells? Location of Collenchyma cells?
Petiole of leaves, sir.
Yes, petiole of leaf. And what we have seen, if you have seen to the that this people, ficus, what you say, ficus religiosa, okay, ficus religiosa and ficus bengalensis. So what happened, what we have seen into that people, ficus religiosa, their leaf, if air is blowing or not blowing, what we have seen, if ficus religiosa tree is there, air is strongly blowing or not blowing, but their leaf is continue moving. The leaf of ficus religiosa is continue moving. What is the reason? Reason is that suppose that this is the leaf of the tree, ficus religiosa, okay, and they have also, this is the petiole, okay, this is the petiole. The petiole length is very big, means not you can say big, but you can say in compared to other petiole, in compared to other leaf of the petiole or parts of the parts of the leaf, petiole is very small. Here in ficus religiosa, so petiole is very big. Okay, petiole is in compared to other plants, it is little bit big. Okay, so due to this, they continue moving. They continue whether air blowing or not blowing, but the leaf of ficus religiosa is continue blowing. What is the reason? The reason is here the length of the petiole is too much in compared to other. Is it clear? So petiole is made up of the Collenchyma cells. Is it clear? Okay. So petiole generally made up of the Collenchyma cells. Is it fine? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Very good. Now, so come on the book, but whatever here they have given NCRT. This figure is very important. This is talking about the apical meristem. Okay. If you look this figure, so this is the very important. Whatever here they have given, just look it. This is talking about the apical meristem. I have already discussed, but this is the NCRT figure. I'm going to again because I taught only PPT, but now here they have given. So this is the shoot apical meristem. They have given shoot apical meristematic zone, and this is very important point. This is the axillary bud. Axillary bud means suppose that this when the stem is continue elongate, leaf and other parts, primordial, leaf, primordial, everything is elongating. During that time, some part of the cells remain behind left. Okay, some parts of the cells remain behind left, and this is going to formation of the branch. This will be responsible for formation of the branch. Okay, this is called the axillary bud. This is the PYQS. Okay, already asked about this axillary bud. Now they have given. If you read during the formation of leaves, elongation of the stem. There is the two condition: formation of leaves primordia, and elongation of stem means stem growth is continue rising. Some cells left behind from pseudapical meristem constitute the axillary bud. and the axillary bud axil of leaves are capable of forming of branch of flower. Okay, so branch, it may be forms the branch or a flower. It may be forms the branch or maybe flower. Okay, that is floral axis. Now let's come. We will talk about the permanent tissue. Okay, now here they have given about the permanent tissue. Okay, look at here. What is the following division of the cells, both primary as well as secondary meristem? The newly formed cell becomes structurally and functionally specialized and lose the ability to divide. Means the permanent cells will lose the ability to divide. It will not divide. Such cells are termed as a permanent or mature cells and constitutes the permanent tissue. Okay, this will be mature and constitutes the permanent tissue. During the formation of primary plant body, specific regions of the apical meristem produce the dermal tissue, ground tissue, and vascular tissue. Can you tell dermal tissue means? Epidermis. Ground tissue means that is parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, and vascular bundle that we will see later. Okay, clear? Now, next one. Here they have given the structure. Just look it. Can you tell what is this? The which figure are you seeing? This is a type of which cell? Which type of cells figure representing?
Parenchyma, sir.
Very good. It will be the parenchyma because I told intercellular spaces. So now look at they have the intercellular spaces. Here intercellular spaces. Intercellular. Due to the only primary cell walls only present. So intercellular. It means this is the parenchyma cells. Now the cells of permanent tissue do not generally divide further. I told it will be mature. Permanent tissue having all cells similar in structure and function. I told. So they have the similar structure and function. Okay. Simple tissue. Permanent tissue having many different types of the cells called complex tissue. If the simple, what they are giving? I told already. Simple permanent tissue means permanent tissue having all cells are similar in size, similar in function. So all cells are similar in structure and function. Means every cell should be similar structure and function. So this you can say parenchyma. Sorry, you can say this is the simple permanent tissue. And complex means the permanent tissue having many different types of the cells and different function. That is called complex tissue, which I told already. Now this simple permanent tissue you can see SPT. SPT. A simple tissue is made up of only one type of cells. The various simple tissue in plants are parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Okay, which we have discussed already. Parenchyma forms the major components within organ. I told already. Parenchyma means that simple permanent tissue. So parenchyma, it occupied the maximum portion of the plant. This I have given. Okay, maximum portion of the plant. So comes the major components within organ. The cells of the parenchyma are generally isodiametric, I told already. They may be spherical or oval or round or polygonal or elongated in shape. Shape may be vary, but isodiametric in shape. You have to learn. Okay. Their walls are thin and made up of cellulose. I told already. They have only primary cell wall, which is made up of the cellulose. No deposition of pectin, lignin, anything is there. So if the only primary cell wall is there, so that you know very well what happened. They may either be closely packed or have small intercellular spaces. You have to learn they should have intercellular spaces. Okay, closely packed but little bit space is there. That means intercellular space. The parenchyma perform various functions like photosynthetic, storage, and secretion. Okay, I told already storage, idioblast, photosynthetic, chlorenchyma. Now, second is the collenchyma. The collenchyma occurs in the layers below the epidermis. That you know, hypodermis, hypodermis, hypodermis. Do you know where it is found? It is found in the root or stem, and in stem it is found as monocot or dicot stem. Solunga.
Dicot stem.
Very good. Dicot. Minutes more. Next, okay, uh, epidermis of most of the dicotyledonous plants. Okay, they have given already. It is found into the dicotyledonous plant, most of them. Okay. Listen, it is found either as homogeneous layer or in patches. Okay, it may be present into the small patches. Patches means, suppose that this is the Collenchyma. So here Collenchyma cells, here Collenchyma cells, here Collenchyma cells. This will be present in the patches, means small packet lights, or homogeneous. Homogeneous means evenly distribution. Evenly distribution. Okay, then it consists of cells which are much thickened at the corners due to the deposition of cellulose. Yes, I told already. If you look at here, just look at this. There is the corner. This corner is the deposition with the thickened corner. I told already the uneven distribution of the cellulose. That's why they don't have the intercellular space. Now you can read. So deposition of cellulose and hemicellulose and pectin. So three component is going to deposit cellulose, hemicellulose, and plus one more, that is pectin. Pectin was not present in case of the parenchyma. Parenchyma, no pectin, no secondary cell wall, only primary cell wall, hemicellulose and cellulose. But in case of the collenchyma, along with cellulose, pectin is also there. So due to the deposition of pectin is unevenly distribution in the particular plane, you will see at the corner there is the thickening. Okay, so thickening generally found. Collenchymatous cells may be oval, spherical, or polygonal, or often contain chloroplast. Most of the time they have the chloroplast. These cells are assimilate food when they contain chloroplast. Okay, because photosynthesis means they can store the food material. Okay, now these cells assimilate food when they contain. Okay, intercellular spaces are absent. Very very important point. This is PYQS. Intercellular spaces absent. They provide mechanical support to the growing parts of the plant, such as young stem and petiole of a leaf. This is the story about Collenchyma. Okay, this is the overall story about the Collenchyma. And in next class, I will talk about the Sclerenchyma as well as complex permanent